In this video I want to share my thoughts about the instructional side of the game Draughts or Checkers, and here I need to tell you that I was really hesitant to put this game into the playlist simply because there are many risks that the game itself won't give any efficient benefits for the students. And the reason is that the game itself is really complicated, since, for example, in the Soviet Union, the game was not as popular as chess, but at the same time there were schools and clubs that taught checkers. There are books about the game and so on. So it is on a equal degree maybe a bit below, I would say, still chess and Go, but way above all the other games that I presented before that. And as you understand, to be able to play chess on a high level, you need to spend years with the game, and therefore I do believe that to get to a decent level in checkers, so it does give you some benefits, I also believe that you need to spend weeks, maybe months with the game. It is not a casual game where you just play it twice per week and expect some good results. It's not just a casual game to do in between. In case that you like the game and you want to spend more time with it, then sure, I can give you all my thoughts about it, but otherwise stick maybe to the games prior to it. So the objective of this game, if you want to implement it properly, it's about maximizing the the field of view in the game. And secondly, it's the deep calculation of all the possible variations. It's useful in chess, it's useful in checkers, and obviously it's useful in real life, just to spot all the possibilities and try to think ahead. And the time frame reflects the issues with the game, since in the courses where I implemented it, most of the students took only 10 minutes per game, and 10 minutes means we just play the moves until one of the sides blunders and then the game is done, which is, in my opinion, more towards a waste of time, and we can use the time better by doing any other games in this list prior. Whereas the professionals actually take up to 60 minutes per game and even more, just playing the game, because there are options and ways how you can use the time. For example, if you imagine any adult strategy game, then there are things that you try to think about: which moves to play, what benefits you will receive if that's in this game. You can do it too, but you need to actively try to do it, and if you don't do it, well, then I think the time is wasted. So here are again the game rules. If you want to read them, that's the first part. This is the second part. I use this endgame rule because usually, there is a way how 3 kings win against 1 king, but you need to know this game on a deeper level. Therefore, I just cut it here and wait until either there are no pieces left or we have only this situation over the board. And usually the students are happy with it. They think this is a fair assessment and result for the game. So about the strategic foundations, and first of all, there is no real strategic foundation for the game because the whole game is relying only on calculation, and this calculation is it's only the calculation part, but the calculation part itself is deeper as actually in chess. And one of the examples is actually this 5th position, or the book that I linked in the description below. it might get really, really deep. And this is what the game was famous for. It is an adult game where you have to properly calculate everything that there is. You don't play by intuition. Although I do believe that after some games that you have some experience that such as a good pattern, this is not a good pattern or a position, but altogether it's just mastering of calculating the force line. And we are also fine not about the level of the students, so it's not about how well can they calculate, but it's more about how well they progress in calculation. If they calculate just one move ahead and then maybe 2 or 3 moves, this is a great resultant, great step. This is what we care for. Certainly there you can play the game with book knowledge, and certainly as in chess I expect there is something like an opening theory, usual tactical themes, or what is a good situation or not a good one. But I cannot tell you anything about it, but more like it is a huge body of knowledge that you can have and gather about this game. The path to improvement, this is what I want the students to get from the game, is if they play the game, that they need to play the game repeatedly over a long time with maybe the parents, with each other. It's the same with chess. It's something that you need to take your time to do so. On the opposite, if you don't do it, then usually this is what my students did in my course. They haven't gotten far and still stuck to the same level where they started, just moving in pieces. And the best that I have gotten from them is to see if the piece that I'm moving on the square that I'm moving into, if that square is, if they lose it immediately, but they haven't spotted anything else besides that. So the crucial insights. First of all, what is the challenge that we want our students to master? They have to see and scan the entire board and see all the possibilities for themselves and also for the opponent. They shouldn't lose their pieces, firstly. If they're gotten to this level, they should see also the threats of the opponent, and if they see that, then maybe they can also think about how to defend their own pieces, also 1 or 2 moves ahead. And then we slightly get to a level where I can see it is a really reasonable game from them. And secondly, obviously calculating everything in advance. The usual level that I sadly encounter is that the students just simply don't care about this game. They don't care about, losing their pieces. And if that's the case, then I think the game or the time is wasted, and you can get better results with more easier games that are also in this playlist, obviously. Also, another thing is that they get a strong tunnel vision. For example, that they see a spot, they need to defend the piece, and then they have to move, for example, from G7 to F6 or something, and they completely miss that by doing so they lose on another way. So they just see I have to defend one piece and completely forget about the rest of the board, that they open the enemy as a path to taking twice or 3 times. So the advices that we can share with the students is, first of all, they have to verify all the possibilities, especially since capture is mandatory. Then they have to spot it. On top of that, they should also see whether the opponent has an option to take our own pieces. If so, then maybe do something about it or defend or make it so we can capture the piece back. And the other thing is, simply not losing a piece is already a high level that it's not obvious. So should your students be already on a level where they don't lose pieces, then it's at least a level that we can work with. And at least half of my students didn't get even to this level. So where I used it, I had courses where over the span of a week I wanted to get the most cognitive progress out of the game that I presented to you. And this was the final game on the final day, maybe for 1 or 2 hours, and where I tested it. And 2 hours is obviously in hindsight far not enough time to do the game the proper way. But this is the results that I have gotten it from, that even the ones experienced in all of the previous games were not educated enough to play this game in a reasonable way. But all of the students had a lot of interest of playing the game, even if they lost the game. So I saw real, not much of thinking progress, but they had a lot of fun playing it. So if you can use it to your advantage, feel free to do so. But the game rules and all of it together, they were just overwhelming for the most body part of my students. Also, they have been a frustration problem, as one mistake can already lose the game. And you see, obviously, if you're playing like 10 versus 5 pieces, then the 10 will always win. And if one mistake is already costly and you don't want to think about your moves, then obviously the game loses a lot of its fun straight away. What we can get through this game, if we implement it the proper way, and I don't know what is a proper way, this is something that you maybe can find out. I can tell you what is the proper way for chess, which is one of the reasons why I made this channel, to tell you how to learn chess the right way. Whereas as checkers, I'm not a master in checkers. I haven't read any books in checkers. There are certainly books how to do it the right way. If you have an idea, feel free to implement it. But same as chess, it can learn the concentration, focus, and reflecting of your own options, of the options of your opponents, and just get yourself into decision making progress. What I have implemented successfully was a team play principle. So I asked my students voluntarily whether they wanted to play as a pair instead of one player, and as a pair they were allowed to share their thoughts. And ironically, only the best students wanted to play as pairs. Maybe they have understood the complexity of the game, whereas the weaker students played more of these 10 minutes game against each other. And this one game that I had seen from these pairs, this was highly reasonable and in a constructive manner. I saw their thoughts, I saw the ideas. There were small mistakes, not one move blunders, but something like they let an opponent's piece through to get to a king's position. But altogether, that was just the perfect example what I expect from this game. So if you have more of such ideas or such games that take 30 minutes, and you see the thinking path just by watching the moves, this is a great example and the best way to implement this game. But sadly, I cannot help you further on this path. So finally, here are again just a few examples on the level of the weaker students from my course. So in this position, Blue just took the wrong way. First of all, he is already down many pieces, and he took the wrong way and lost the game. Obviously, taking twice with this way is better, but Blue simply forgot about this, or maybe he even didn't think in the first way. Also, as you see, well, somewhere he did lose a lot of his pieces, because if you count, red has, how many we have here? It's like 3 pieces of red against, well, there you see there are a lot of pieces gone from blue, so you need to do some silly mistakes to get to such a position already. In the second position, this is also something usual that you need to, well, you will definitely see in your courses. For example, here blue could, even he has to take, but if blue doesn't spot the double capture, then I punish him by, well, allowing red to decide whether he does this or not. So if it would be a losing move, then red can force blue to play it. Otherwise, option is gone. He's already, well, done. Also, what you will certainly encounter is, for example, in this position, it's blue's turn, and blue can again do the same thing, and usually, more often than not, he will also neither take that way nor take that way, but instead take just once and be, for some reason, happy with this position. And this is something that was similar to the pair game 2 versus 2. There were more pieces on the board, but it was a similar situation. You have a king against only a running piece, and the pair could not see how to defend the piece. So I think it was something similar, like it goes here, then they attack from behind, and it just going through, and that's it. This was like the continuation from the game that I have seen. So in this long video, again, I wanted to tell you the risks with implementing this game. There are a lot of potential as well, obviously, as well as in chess. The videos are continuing with pure chess course from this video onwards. In case I could have helped you with, well, helping you students to progress in their cognitive thinking and results, then, well, I'm glad to have done this, and good luck in your implementation.